Every definition of adventure in Webster's has an element of risk. If you take the risk out, you take a lot of the values that you get out of it. When you're doing these risk sports, you try to live right on the edge and try to push that envelope all the time, push the edge away all the time, but you never go over. Because if you go over, you're dead.
I know going into it that there's a really good chance that unless everything is perfect, I'm gonna pull the plug. I start out the day going, there's 20 no's that unless I turn those into yeses, I'm bailing on this thing. And sometimes that means I've made it 3/4 the way up a mountain and I can't get that 20th yes, and I'm pulling the plug. If I can just leave this thing that I've spent 3 weeks trying everything I have into it and I can walk away from it, then that's when I know I'm making the right decisions.
I think it's at the time when you're most stressed is when you do your most important work, and that's how it's been for me. You know, I've overcome some of the gnarliest injuries, broken backs and necks, and punctured lungs, and nearly ruptured my aorta. I've had, you know, over 40 broken bones, and none of them I'm proud of, but they've all taught me lessons and they've molded me into the person I am today. When you put your helmet on and it comes down to the night, you're screwing the throttle and you're hoping for the best, but you know, it's a calculated risk. There's been a lot of planning going in place. And my biggest jumps, I've actually sat there before and been, it sounds crazy to say this, but it's the daredevil nature, being like, you know what? However this works out is how it's meant to be, and however it does go down, I'm just going to embrace it. You know, if I'm falling from a 10-story building and know it's the end, I'm just going to give into it and just let it be and not scream on the way down, you know, just take it. For the Arc de Triomphe, the fear was definitely killing myself. Like, I was really worried about not making it and seeing the new year come in. Part of me wanted to just quit there and then, but that childhood dream of mine was that little echo going, you gotta do this for that kid in you, the one that dreamed like that all through school, who wanted to do that. Now's the opportunity. You're gonna walk out now, coward. You could feel it in everyone. Like, you could see people were nervous. Everyone around me, the whole team was like on edge. It was such a tense moment. I worked out and faced my fears in myself, and I faced the fear of that jump months before I even got there.
You're scared of hurting yourself. You're scared of hucking off that ledge. You're scared of that giant wave that's barreling down on you, and kind of riding the edge of that fear, and sort of what is that fine line between reckless abandon and calculated risk, to where eventually you're doing something you don't even think twice about it.
I just saw the snow under my feet break up, and I knew right away what was happening. And thankfully, I was really calm that day, and I was able to keep my speed and focus on what I needed to do to get out of it. Learning to deal with fear and talking yourself down from things you're so scared of, I find really helps. It really helps you deal with other situations for the rest of your life. Because then nothing becomes that big of a deal since you've put yourself in a situation where you were so scared.
You're always negotiating with the fear of something to know how to protect yourself. So if you feel the fear come in, that's just a sign. What are you doing? And as a rock climber, you go the other way. I think when fear comes, you calm down and you think clearly, okay, what do I need to do? You don't panic and start shaking and just wing it and start going for it and see what happens. So I think that fear is a very interesting friend that's there for you to, help you, protect you, make you consider.